Switzerland is not just a country of postcard mountains. It is a place where water, stone, and silence seem to remember everything. Behind every calm lake and perfect old street, there is a deeper story. Cities shaped by medieval power villages carved into cliffs, railways daring to cross glaciers, and communities holding on to beauty in the shadow of the Alps. In this journey, we enter the Switzerland that feels almost unreal, not because it is untouched, but because history, nature, and human ambition meet so closely here. Welcome to Switzerland, a country small in size but immense in its ability to amaze and inspire. Zurich rises where the limit cuts through stone, and Lake Zurich opens like a sheet of alpine glass. It is Switzerland's largest city yet. Beneath the polished surface, medieval towers, guildhouses, and narrow old lanes still guard the memory of a powerful trading world. The twin spires of Grossmünster command the skyline. Nearby Fraumünster glows with stained glass, adding color and quiet reverence to the old city. Above the river, the Lindenhof watches like an ancient lookout holding centuries of civic memory. Beyond the rooftops, Uetliberg frames Zurich with raw mountain silence and distant alpine air. Here, refinement is only the surface. Beneath it lives a city shaped by history, water, stone, commerce, and the calm confidence of Switzerland's largest gateway. Between lake-light river movement, old streets, disciplined rhythm, and enduring urban grace. Lucerne stands where the Rhein River bursts from Lake Lucerne, gathering medieval stone, dark water, and alpine peaks into one impossible frame. The chapel bridge crosses the river like a surviving artery from the Middle Ages. Beneath its covered wooden roof, painted histories still watch the current move below. Above the old town, the Museig Wall and its towers hold the city's fortified spine, reminding Lucerne of its guarded past. Across the lake, Pilatus and Rigi rise like raw sentinels. Their slopes turn every waterfront view into a mountain theater of shadow, reflection, and scale. Here, waterwood stone and alpine darkness meet with rare precision. Lucerne becomes one of Switzerland's most cinematic mirrors, where history and landscape appear to breathe together in silence beneath the open mountain sky. Interlaken lies between two alpine lakes where turquoise water and glacier-borne mountains hold the town inside a breathtaking corridor of stone. On one side, Lake Thun stretches wide and deep. On the other, Lake Brienz burns with a sharper, almost unreal blue. Above both waters, the Eigermunch and Jungfrau rise like a monumental wall of ice rock and cloud. Paragliders drift over the valley, their bright wings floating beneath the peaks. Below them, horse-drawn carriages move slowly through quiet streets, passing wooden balconies and soft alpine light. Here, life follows the rhythm of water, mountain air, and long, peaceful afternoons. Interlaken is more than a gateway to the Alps. It is a calm pocket of Switzerland held between blue lakes, open skies, and timeless mountain beauty. Lake Lugano curves through Ticino like a dark alpine ribbon where Swiss mountains meet a light that feels almost Mediterranean. Palm trees line the waterfront, softening the stone edges of the shore. Villages cling to steep slopes above the water, their roofs and walls caught between mountain shadow and southern sun. Across the lake, Montebre and Monte San Salvatore rise in deep blue reflections, giving every view a cinematic stillness. From Lugano's old arcades, quiet boat routes lead toward Gandria and Morcote. The water feels less like a border than a living stage of stone, sun, silence, and slow movement. Here, the Alps soften without surrendering their power, while each mile of shoreline reveals another angle of ancient natural beauty, calm depth, and quiet Italian-speaking Swiss soul. St. Gallen rises around an abbey where stone towers and painted ceilings preserve the weight of Europe's monastic mind. Inside the abbey library, carved wood sweeping curves and rococo lights surround manuscripts that once carried theology, science, music, and power through the Middle Ages. What began as a hermit's retreat grew into one of the continent's cultural strongholds, with scriptoria guarding knowledge through centuries of war, fire, and silence. Outside the old town unfolds through ornate bay windows, narrow streets, and facades shaped by patience. Nothing here needs to shout. The city speaks through parchment timberstone and the quiet discipline of memory. St. Gallen feels like a cathedral of knowledge, where faith, learning, and architecture still breathe beneath the same ancient roof. Here, silence becomes an archive, and every shadow still seems carefully illuminated. Grimentz clings to the Val d'Anivier like a village cut from dark timber-red flowers and cold mountain air. Its sun-blackened wooden houses stand close together, preserving the raw architecture of Old Valais. Ancient granaries, narrow stone lanes, and weathered balconies carry the memory of winter's harvests and alpine isolation. In summer, geraniums burn across the facades, turning the village into a fierce splash of color beneath the cliffs. Around Grimentz, high pastures open into forest trails, while the road toward Moiry leads deeper into glacier light and mountain silence. Here, Switzerland feels quieter and older. Cowbells drift through the slopes. Wood smoke rises from roofs, and the day moves with a slower rhythm. Grimentz is not grand by size. It is monumental in memory, silence, and mountain soul beneath vast peaks and passing clouds. SCHAFFHAUSEN stands on the Rhine's northern edge, where painted facades, stone towers, and rushing water sharpen the city's medieval pulse. Its old town unfolds through guildhouses, frescoed walls, and ornate bay windows, turning every street into an open-air gallery. Above the rooftops, the circular Monastic fortress watches from its vineyard hill. Built in the 16th century, it feels like a stone crown made for defense, memory, and command. Yet, the true main character is RHEIN Falls. Water plunges about 75 feet, roaring, with a force that fills the body before the mind can measure it. Sunlight cuts through exploding spray, leaving silver streaks in the air. Mist covers the rocks like moving glass. Boats push toward the central rock, bringing people close enough to feel nature's power on their skin. Lausanne rises above Lake Geneva with the force of an Olympic capital, sharpened by ambition, intellect, and alpine light. Youthful energy moves through its university's terraces, streets, and waterfront, giving the city a restless, athletic pulse. From the soaring Gothic cathedral, the old town descends toward the lake through steep alleys, carved facades, and stone stairways. Below, boats glide across deep blue water, while the horizon dissolves into pale mountain light. Farther along the shore, the ancient Lavaux vineyard terraces catch the sun in straight golden steps. Here, sport is not separate from scholarship, and history is not separate from landscape. Lausanne becomes a majestic meeting of medieval stone, Olympic spirit, vineyard geometry, lake, silence, and the bright discipline of a city, always climbing toward wider horizons beneath vast open skies and distant. BERNINA Pass cuts through the Alps at about 7,390 feet, where ice rock and sky feel brutally close. At this raw altitude, the Bernina Railway moves through cliffs and glaciers, its red carriages drawing a calm line across the wilderness. Viaducts rise over ravine, tunnels disappear into dark stone. Glacier light flashes across the windows like broken silver. Every section feels precarious, precise, and almost impossible. At Brusio, the spiral viaduct coils the train into a perfect loop, turning engineering into motion itself. The track does not soften the mountains, it confronts them. Curve by curve, the railway becomes a human answer to untamed alpine power. Bernina Pass and its viaducts stand as a bold line of steel stone courage and calculation, drawn across ice and height with fearless precision beneath the open sky. MORCOTE opens onto Lake Lugano, like a quiet stone balcony lowered towards sunlit water. Pastel houses, terracotta roofs, and shaded arcades descend to the shore, catching the warm southern light. Narrow stairways climb the hillside between flowered balconies, secret passages and walls shaped by centuries of Ticínese craft. Above the village, Santa Maria del Sasso rises from the rock, watching boats drift below. Nearby, cypress trees cut dark lines against the sky. From the lakeshore green mountains press close folding Morcote into Reflectionsbell's gardens and silence, every turn feels intimate yet never small. Stone steps, lake water, hanging flowers and old facades seem composed together for one timeless view. Here Lake Lugano becomes more than scenery. It becomes the mirror that holds Morcote's southern soul under a sky of slow golden light and warmth. Wengen rests above the Lauterbrunnen Valley like a quiet balcony carved into the Swiss Alp. No cars break the silence here, only trains climbing through forests, meadows, and steep mountain air. Across the valley, the Jungfrau Mönch and Eiger rise in vast white walls, turning every street into a mountain viewpoint. Wooden chalets stand beneath dark roofs, their balconies bright with flowers in summer and heavy with snow in winter. Trails lead toward alpine pastures where cowbells drift through clean air and clouds move slowly across the cliffs. In winter, ski tracks cut across the slopes, linking the village to a wider world of snow. Wengen feels gentle but never ordinary. Its beauty comes from restraint, height, and stillness, where human life remains suspended between rail tracks, wooden houses, glacier light, and the immense silence of the Bernese Oberland. SOGLIO rests on a sunny terrace above Val Bergaglia, like a stone balcony facing the wild Swiss-Italian Alps. Its narrow lanes pass between old granite houses, chestnut trees, and quiet courtyards shaped by centuries of mountain life. Across the valley, the Sciorra peaks rise in sharp, untamed walls, turning every doorway into a view of raw, alpine power. The village carries an Italian softness inside Swiss precision, with stone roofs, flowered windows, and gardens catching southern light. Painters and writers once came here for the silence, the clarity, and the feeling of time held still. Nothing in SOGLIO feels hurried. Its beauty is ancient, restrained, and almost monolithic, a place where stone chestnut forests, mountain air, and human memory remain balanced above the valley beneath the pale, quiet, lingering light of the southern Alps. Where the red trains curve through the Albula Mountains, BERGÜN feels carved by railway stone and snow. Old Engadine houses stand along narrow streets, their painted facades and deep windows holding the quiet dignity of Graubünden. Above the village, viaducts and tunnels climb toward the high passes, turning engineering into a cinematic alpine thread. In winter, sledges rush down the closed mountain road while roofs sink under heavy white silence. Summer reveals meadows, forests, and slopes shaped by hay cattle and patient mountain work. BERGÜN does not shout for attention. It waits in raw restraint where rail lines, timber, granite, and alpine weather bind human life to the deep rhythm of the mountains. Every curve of track feels like memory crossing cliffs, bridges, and dark rock before vanishing into snow. PONTRESINA stands in the Engadine like a refined alpine threshold between dark forests, glaciers, and high stone peaks. Above the village, the BERNINA Massif rises with raw authority where ice granite and thin air shape the horizon. Elegant Belle Epoque hotels recall the age when travelers came seeking mountain light, silence, and the thrill of altitude. Old Engadine houses line the streets with painted walls, deep windows, and a calm dignity carved by winter. Trails lead toward the Mortarach Glacier where meltwater runs through rock and the landscape feels ancient, cold, and exposed. PONTRESINA is graceful but never soft. Its beauty comes from contrast-polished facades below, untamed ice above, and human life balanced carefully between comfort, memory, and the severe power of the Alps. STEIN am Rhein glows beside the Rhine like a painted medieval manuscript opened under northern light. At the edge of northeastern Switzerland, the river bends past houses whose facades are covered with frescoes, coats of arms, and old stories. Every wall seems to speak in color. Narrow streets lead toward timber-framed buildings, stone fountains, and quiet squares where time feels carefully preserved. Above the town, Hohenklingen Castle watches from the hill, turning the river valley into a scene of defense, trade, and memory. The Rhine moves slowly below, carrying reflections of roofs, towers, and painted walls through the landscape. STEIN am Rhein is not dramatic through height or glaciers. Its power is intimate, ancient, and precise. A riverside village, where art, stone water, and human craft remain bound together in one luminous Swiss image beneath the quiet, patient northern sky. Switzerland leaves behind more than mountains, lakes, chalets, and perfectly preserved old streets. It reveals how a small country can hold a vast conversation between nature history and human imagination. Every valley, river, and village carries the weight of time, shaped by people who learned to live with height, water, winter, silence, and distance. Long after the journey ends, Switzerland remains less like a destination than a feeling, calm, powerful, disciplined, and quietly unforgettable. Small in size, yet immense in spirit, Switzerland becomes an entire world held inside the mountains.